All right, so we're going to continue from where we stopped. This is the part 2. Okay, so this is where we are at. We've been able to build out the first part. So do not mind this image. Later I'm going to edit it and use the actual image. Now the second phase is this phase that says the article. Let us build out the article section. All right, so just going to close this. Sorry, to close the preview. And yeah, we have the blog hero section done. And I'm just going to put in a div block up outside of that, here, down. Now we have the second part, which is the article section. Yeah, so we're going to say blog article section. Yep, the blog article section, and we're going to put in a div block. We're going to say padding global, and padding section large, and we're going to put in a div block again, and we're going to say container large, and we're going to put in a div block. We're going to say now article wrapper. That's going to wrap the entire of the article for us. Now inside of the article wrapper, we are now going to put in a collection list. Now we're going to put in a collection list. Now this is the collection list. Now the source is going to be what? Articles. Boom. Articles. Now we have the 5 articles that we created all listed here, but if you see here, we just want just 3. Now let us build out this layout that says article and this. Okay, let's do this. And on top of the article wrapper, we're going to put in let's just say a heading at the top here. Heading, maybe heading 3. Yep, that would say articles. Okay, that says articles. Yeah, and okay, maybe inside of here, articles. Now this article wrapper, we're gonna make it a flex box, vertical, and we're gonna put a gap, maybe 16, let's say 1 there. So it creates this gap between the article and the collection. Now let's start designing the collection. So inside of the collection list, collection item, inside of the item, we're going to put in a div block. All right, this div block is going to house the image, right? It's going to house the image, and we're going to say article image. I think I'm correct. Article image. I didn't spell that correctly. Article image. Okay, now we're going to put in an image inside. I hope this is good. Now we're going to tie the image to the thumbnail. Now we have thumbnail, but they are so big. We don't want it to be this big. Just going to reduce it like this. See, I drag it from this node and I reduce it. All right, so this is pulling from the source, which is the collection, the CMS that we've created. All right, now that is that, and that's for the article image. Now inside of the collection item, we're going to put in another div block. This div block is going to be under the image. This is going to house all of this. We're going to say article, we're going to call it article heading. All right, so we're just going to call it article heading, right? And we're going to say article heading, and we're going to put in this heading right inside of it. But before we put in the heading, let us try to fix or arrange this author's image and author name. Now inside of the article heading, we're going to put in a div block again, and we're going to call this author. We just call it author name. And inside of the article heading, okay, let's say article heading wrapper. Okay, so it's wrapping everything. Now the author name, inside of the author name, we're going to put in an image that's going to house the, see, we didn't have any image in our CMS that will handle the author's image. So we're going to do that in a minute. So you just allow it be like this. Okay, so allow it very small like this. Now beside the author name, beside the author image, is the author name. So we're going to put in a text, let's say text block inside of it. This is going to handle the Bolaji, that's the author's name. Now we're just going to tie, I think I created a field for that. Now we're just going to tie it down to the author. That's the name of the author. Yeah. So we have different name. We have Jane Doe, John Smith, blah blah blah. It's just gonna populate it, you know. And now these two authors, the author image and the author name, they are like horizontally aligned. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the author name wrapper. Let's say author name wrapper. Let's call it that. Now I'm just going to say Flexbox and align it to the center like this. And I'm going to create a gap in between them, maybe 1 rem. That's 16 pixels. And this text block is going to be author's name. Okay, and we're gonna make it not so black, maybe something like this, and that's good. What else are we missing? We have a date here, so let's just put a date inside of it too as well. Maybe another text block that's going to be tied to the created on, published on. Let's say created on this date, and we're just going to call it date block. You know, just make it like this too as well, not so black but something like this. And we're going to go back and check. The date is like 10 pixel. It's kind of small, it's maybe 0.8. And let's see, for this it's a little bit let's say author's name would be like, you know, 0.9. and yeah, that is that about that. And this title here we're going to put in inside of the author's name. Now inside of the article heading wrapper, we're going to now put in the actual heading. That would be like let's say H4, and we're going to tie it down to the name like this. Okay, and yeah, I hope we're correct. This is like this, but this is having 20 pixel size, which is like 1.5, which is good. And what else do I want to do? I just need to add the image, the author's image here, which I'm going to do. So now let us create space between here, the image, and the, you know, the text and everything. So I'm just going to go to the this article heading wrapper, and I'm going to make it flexbox, horizontal again, and like this, and create a space, maybe 1 rem, and we're going to add a little bit of margin to the top like this, so it's create space, you know, like that. And this is good. This is looking good. Now mind you, these 3 articles, 1, 2, 3, they are all horizontally aligned, and we have just 3 of them. But here we have ours is vertically aligned. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the collection item, the collection list, and I'm going to make it a grid. Let's work with a grid. I'll make it a grid, and the column is 3 columns, 3 column grid. And we just want just 3 articles, right? We don't need 5 articles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the collection list wrapper. I'm going to go to settings here, and I'm going to limit items. All right, limit item, show just 3. You see, show just 3, start at 1. So regardless of how many we have, we're just going to see just 3. All right, now we want to put a button. Mind you, I still need to go back to the CMS so that I can create an author's image for this, but that is something I can always do. Now this is too black. This is too black compared to this. I'm just going to go here now, and I will just call it blog heading, and I'll just take it to like I think we have a variable for that, maybe something like this, something like this. All right, so yeah, that is that about that. And I want to go here and make this row 1, not 2. So we have 3 columns and 1 row. Now what I want to do, I want to add a button or a link, a text link underneath here that is going to say see more, and that's what I'm going to do. And how I'm going to do that is I'll just go here to collection items, I think. Let's try collection items, and let's see what that's going to work for us. Let's say text link. Let's try that. Is it a text link I want to use? Nah, text link will not work. Okay. Let's say text block. Okay. Let's say inside of here we're gonna say why I'm trying to not use a text link is because this collection item will have to be clickable. So I have to somehow make this collection item clickable. So when someone clicks on any part of the, I wouldn't say just the text. When someone clicks on any part of the blog, click, it takes them to the blog detailed page. That is what I want to achieve. So what I'm going to do now is I would wrap everything inside the collection item in a div block, right? So we have the collection item. I'm going to put in a div block, take it to the top like this, and put the article image inside, put this other guy to inside. So yeah, so this div block will now serve as a link block. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. So we're going to wrap it as a link block, or we're going to convert it to a link block. I think convert it to a link block. Nope. So we should do what? We should wrap it in a link block. Why is it acting all weird? Okay, here, click wrap in a link block. Okay, let's try again. Here, like this, convert to a link block. It's a link block, yeah. Okay, so we've converted it to a link block. So this is now a link block. Okay, and I'm just going to take away the whole underline thingy. We don't need that, so I'm just going to call this let's say blog article, let's say blog article wrapper, I guess. Yeah, blog article wrapper. So now it's an entire link block. So you see, when you hover in, everything is a link block. When you click, it takes you somewhere, right? So where does it take you to is what we're going to try to figure out. It's quite easy to do. And yeah, so let's add see more. Now, how we're going to do the see more? Inside of the collection item, I'm going to put in a text link. Doesn't work because if you do it this way, it will, add text link everywhere, and we do not want that for ourselves. Okay, so we want to make this one. Want to make it something outside of the collection, because this is kind of tricky. It is tricky. It is kind of tricky because maybe I didn't think about it, because when you click on this, it's supposed to take you to this page. So does this mean this is going to be like another page? See more. So this is like another page. Okay, I'm thinking. So what we can do is, we're going to have an article page. Okay, we're going to have an X-Space page separate. Okay, I didn't think this through, but yeah. So we're going to create, let me delete this link. So we're going to create, we're going to add the link, yeah, see more. But then what we're going to do, we would have to create another page, more like a static page that is going to have everything articles in it, just article, not X-Space, not live offer, So yeah, so how are we going to do that? So I'm going to include my see more link. Let's say put in a div block. This is the div block. Let's give it a margin top. We got margin top, and let's say margin medium, right? Is it medium? Is it okay to say medium? Let's say margin large. Okay, so we have this margin top. So inside of it, now we're going to put in a link, a text link. Okay, we have a text link that's going to say see more. Okay, Now we want this see more to be aligned to the middle. We got the see more link, text link. All right, now we're gonna just align it to the middle. Oops, that didn't work. It's kind of weird. Okay, let's put it another div block again and put the see more inside, and now we're gonna place that div block to the middle. Boom. Okay, this works. And this div block is gonna be see more wrapper, see more link wrapper. Okay, and we have that's the wrapper, and the color is having this purplish color like this. So I'm just gonna go here and set the color to that. Oops, sorry, set the color here. Okay. On link. Okay. Okay. Do I have the color already? Yeah, I already have the color here. I already set the color as a variable, so it's there. And yeah. So mind you, the background for this article is like a gray background. How do we do that? I'm just gonna go to the blog article section, and I'll make it the entire section like a grayish thingy. I think something like this. Let's go get the color, the actual color. This is it. I'm gonna come here. I'm just gonna paste it here. We have that gray color, and yeah, that is done. So boom, we have that. So let us create something for, from the design. We are done with the article. Now what we want to do, we want to send each of the article, when they click on this link, which is the blog article wrapper, let it send them to the detailed blog page. So I'm going to click on this collection page, and we're going to link it to what page. It says here, choose page. Send it to the current page. All right. So once you do it once, it's going to affect every other page. You've done it for this one as well. You know, so you see, current page. Same for here as well, current page. So you don't have to repeat things, you know, twice, double times. So just do it once. And that's the beauty of, you know, dynamic content or collections, working with collections. And so yeah, see more. Now what we want to do is we want to create, we already created for a collection for X Twitter space, right? But we haven't created for Life of a Creative. So now let us, simple thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this blog article, this article collection or article section. I'm just going to duplicate it, copy and paste. You know, I copied and I paste it. So now I'm going to rename it, not rename, I'm going to duplicate it from the class here. I'm just going to say, hey, I want you to be duplicated, and I want to call you, X space section, X space, that's Twitter space section. Now the color for Twitter space is pure white. So you see, we have the difference. This is for article, this is for Twitter space. We're just going to change things. I'm going to go here, this is X space. I'm not just going to come here and say, hey, X spaces, X space. Now this collection, we're not going to use it because this collection is for what again? Is for article, right? But we have this, we've already created our collection for Twitter spaces. X spaces, right? We've done this already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlink everything, because right now we cannot go here and link the source to X spaces because this is locked already. Why is it locked? It is locked because we have connected some things to the article collection. So we have to unlink it. We have to disconnect it. So I'm going to go to the image here. I'm going to say, hey, I do not want you to be connected anymore. I'm going to disconnect the property. So it's no longer linked to articles. And I'm going to go to here, the name. You have to disconnect everything, else it's still not going to work. And I'm going to go to the date, and I'm going to disconnect it. And I'm going to go to the name, and I'm going to disconnect everything. Everything has been disconnected. So now we have to rename or duplicate this to what? Blog spaces wrapper. Blog space wrapper. Okay, duplicate, not rename, because if you rename it, it simply means it's still going to rename here. So if you duplicate it, it's going to duplicate, then you can rename the duplicate. So we now have blog, but for space wrapper. All right. So this is now where we can go to the selection list wrapper, and now we can, oh, we still cannot connect. Something is wrong somewhere. So let's go and check. What have we not disconnected yet? I think something, maybe we've not disconnected. Let me see. Something we still haven't disconnected. Could be the, I'm not sure. Oh, this, you see, this article, we are supposed to, it's not supposed to link to anywhere anymore. So we're going to go to the, the link, and we're just going to say, hey, none, don't send the article to anywhere anymore. Now it is no longer connected to anything. So this is where we can now you make use of the collection, right? Because it is no longer connected to anything. We can now choose a new source that says, hey, no longer article, but X spaces. No longer article, but what? X spaces. Now X spaces has been selected. X spaces also have 5. So you see, we now have 5 here, which we don't need 5. We need just 3 of them. Now we're going to reconnect everything, but this time around to X spaces. All right. I'm going to go to the image here and say, okay, image, you have a new source, and that new source is thumbnail under X spaces. You see, thumbnail. See, we have a new source. And we're going to go to the heading here, and text would be the name. See, it's going to populate every other names. Just have to do it once. We're going to go here to the author's name. I'm going to say, hey, author's name. And we're going to go here to this date blog. And we're going to say, hey, date, maybe created on. And we're going to go here because I remember I created an author's image for Twitter Spaces. And I'm just going to tie that here to the author's image. Very small. So how do we make it? Oh, okay. X Spaces doesn't even have author's image. Weird enough. Okay, it has just image with the names and the dates, and that's it. So we're just going to delete the we're going to delete this part that says the image and the author's name. Yeah, let's just leave it like this. Let's just assume this is how it is. Okay, so we're going to leave it like this, and we're going to also limit the blog item to just 3. So we're going to say limit items to just 3. So we have just 3 of them. This, that, and there's a see more here. So we're also going to create a static page that's going to house the see more page. Okay, because yeah, why not? So there's a way I can create a see more that the see more would appear on this same page. When you click on it, it will just reveal more blogs. But I think with what the client wants, we would just have to create static pages for that. Okay, and yeah, so now we have for articles, we have for X space. Now we just we're left with life of a creative and portfolio. So what we're going to do, we're going to go create the collection for life of a creative. Go to Webflow, go here. And we can as well just duplicate this X spaces. Life of a creative looks more like articles, right? Yeah, the design style looks more like articles. So what we can do is to go here and say, hey, we want this article to be duplicated. I want to duplicate the collection instead of creating it from scratch. So just duplicate it, call it life of creative. Boom, simple. While we still have all of this, but we do not need the featured. I'm just going to delete the featured. Just let it be then. It's not going to delete because it's connected to something. Okay. Yeah. So we have life of a creative, the name, the summary, the article content, or the content, life of a creative content, life of a creative content, and we have main image, all of that. Yeah, that is that. So what do we need anymore? We need the image. So these are the images. Okay. So I just duplicated articles to get life of a creative. I didn't want to create create it from scratch. So we're going to create a collection, and it's saying, hey, we have a new collection. Let us generate samples item. Okay. Like I said, much later, we're going to populate it with the actual content of, the blog. So this is more like life of a creative, a day in a digital studio, blah, 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 finding work-life balance in the design world. So I'm just going to say, describe the items you like to create. Life of a creative blog. Blogs. Life of a creative blog. Life of a creative blog. So you click on generate. I like this feature. It's an AI feature. It's really nice. It's the first time I'm trying it out. So I wouldn't want this to be too long as well. And I'm just going to do life of a creative, and I'm sure you understand the process. You understand, the logic behind the Webflow CMS. They have new features. Webflow have added, more nice features. They've done lots of improvements, which is amazing. It's really amazing. So we have the journey of a creative mind, the art of collaboration, embracing failures, the importance of routine. Let's check this out. The importance of routine. Look at what it's created for us. Blah, 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 blah. Which is good. Love it. Embracing failure, the art of collaboration. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's created 5 stuff for us. So I'm just going to say save. Save it. So we have life of a creative collection. So I'm just going to go back to here. And what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate life of a creative looks like article, yeah? So I'm just going to duplicate article. So I'm going to go here to article. So this is the articles stuff, articles section. I'm going to say Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I have duplicated it into this one. I'm going to drag it down to the last. So, oops, what have I done? So this is it. Drag it down to the last. So yeah, so we have it here. So after the X spaces, we now have this again. So now we're going to call this now. I'm going to duplicate this class. I'm going to say life of a creative blog section. It's a creative blog section. And with that, I'm just going to call this life of a creative. See, I'm going to be very fast. Life of a creative, paste it here. And I'm going to unlink like we did the first time. I'm going to unlink all of this. I'm going to unlink everything so that we can link it to the new, collection. I'm going to disconnect all of these things we've done. Disconnect. I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to disconnect it again. Yep. So now we've disconnected everything. Now you can go to the collection list wrapper and you can now connect it to life of a creative. Boom. We've connected it to life of a creative, and now we have 5 of them. Again, we don't need 5, we need just 3. I'm going to start connecting all of the fields. The image, we have a new image thumbnail. Link it to thumbnail. See, so this is calling from life of a creative, and we have this image here. We don't have the blog author, so we have the author's name, author name here. We have the dates of the blog, created on. We have the heading. I'm going to tie this heading to the name of the blog, the creative journey, blah, 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 the art of collaboration and everything. I think that's it. And now we're going to limit this collection wrapper, the collection list. We're going to limit it to just 3, limit item again, just 3, and boom, we have life of a creative and we have see more. So yeah. So this is it. We have this, articles, X space, life of a creative, see more. So yeah, I'm just going to create a static page. Now what I want to do, when someone clicks on this see more for articles, we're going to create a page that's going to house just articles, all right? So I'm going to quickly do that. So this blog page, I'm going to duplicate this blog page. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to say blog article. Blog for articles. Oops, blog for articles. So this is for articles. I'm going to create it. All right, now we've created it. Now, okay, so everything here is just articles. See, everything here is articles. Everything articles, the entire articles. So we're just going to go here now, scroll down. This is article. This is what we want. So we don't need X space section. We don't need this section. I'm just going to delete it. Life of a creative, we don't need it. I'm just going to delete it. We just want articles, everything articles. However, what I can do is I would now go to the collection list wrapper, and I will no longer limit it because we want everything to just display. Okay, I'm just going to uncheck this box. Boom. So the entire 5 articles is going to show. If we have 20 articles, they're going to show here. If you have 30 articles, everything's going to be listed here. But then I think the articles, they are too close to each other. I'm just going to go to the collection list too, and I'm going to add this a row gap. Add a row gap of, say, maybe 5 rem, maybe 6 rem. Yeah, 6 rem works. So yeah, it's gonna look like this. So this is what we're gonna have for article. If you click on see more, it's gonna bring you here. So I'm gonna delete the see more because we no longer need the see more. All right, because the see more work is done. And I'm gonna go back to the previous blog, the main blog page, and I'm going to link this see more to the static page that I just created, which is the blog articles. And yeah, so you see this is the main blog page, and you're on articles page, articles section, I mean to say, X spaces, life of creative. So when you click on this see more, it takes you to the just everything article, see, without all those other sections. Yeah, so that's how you can go about it, and I'm just going to go ahead to build out every other thing. But I believe that this is really helpful for you to be able to understand how the CMS works. There's a whole other things I didn't really touch about the CMS, but this is like a good start. I get people asking me about this and that, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can just create something. So I was looking for like a nice use case, and this is like a much better use case. So yeah, and if you have any other question, you can reach out to me. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, this is where I'm going to stop this session. See you guys in my next video where I'll be talking about something else. Yeah.